Okay, so welcome guys to Bumble Bee Dispatch. I have here with me Myron. He actually, how did you find out about Bumble Bee?
I actually found out about Bumble Bee. Actually, my wife was looking for a trailer for me, and she actually went just started looking on like Craigslist, and she told me that I might want to look on Craigslist, to find a trailer because there was a lot of them on there, and so I went on there and actually seen that I think Bumblebee was probably like the only one that really had like a real website that they actually told you to go to the website from Craigslist, and that's how I found you guys.
Okay, so basically, this is Myron. He has his own authority. How long have you been in trucking, and how long have you had a CDL?
I've had my CDL for October. This October made 27 years. Um, I've been in this trucking business ever since I was, I think, 18 years of age. I started off with a chauffeur's license. Back then, they required you to have a chauffeur's license, and then it went from a chauffeur's license to CDL, and that's how I started off. I was young, fresh out of high school. I was still in high school.
Okay. And guys, we are sitting outside at the Starbucks in Fairburn, Georgia. So you may hear a little bit of wind or cars because we are outside. So if you can tell me more about yourself and where you're originally from. Are you from Georgia originally?
No, I'm originally from Flint, Michigan. Moved down to Georgia back in 2006. I actually, a company that I was working for at the time, Wonder Bread, transferred me down to Savannah, Georgia. I was working in Detroit, Michigan, before I moved down to Savannah as a transport driver for Wonder Bread. Came down to Savannah and found it, to be kind of like a culture shock. And then my wife at the time, she wasn't able to get employment, so we ended up moving up to Atlanta and came up here and I started working for, I believe it was 7 Up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. And now, what did you do before trucking?
Before I was in the trucking, I actually worked in a restaurant. I was in a restaurant business.
Oh, so you could cook?
I can cook. I can
Oh,
cook good.
awesome. From
Cook
scratch and
from
everything?
scratch.
Good.
Right.
You know, most guys from up north, they not like the southern guys. So, but that's awesome. Have you ever thought about opening a restaurant?
I actually did. I actually wanted to, open up my own restaurant, but uh, unfortunate circumstances, I left that field, and I went.
No, we're not. Well, he is, but I'm not. I'm from the south.
uh, yeah, I left the cooking industry because I didn't want to continue to work, for someone. I wanted to own my own business. Um, at the time, I thought it was just a restaurant business. I wanted to open up, but then I'm like, hey, let me keep on doing this trucking thing, and a lot of years later, here I am now. I got my own authority, but it wasn't always like that. I started off from the bottom, of course, and I mean, I've held a lot of different positions in this trucking industry out here. So, I know I know quite a bit, about the industry. I've seen the ups and the downs into this business and whatnot.
Okay. Now, what is your favorite food, or what's the favorite type of food you like to cook?
So, yeah, I mean, I don't really have, I really don't have a particular food. I mean, I can really cook anything. I mean, I work in fine dining restaurants. So,
Okay. So
yeah.
you don't have like soul food or just
No, I
no
mean,
type of
yeah, no, I
yeah.
don't really have like a preference or whatever. I mean, I can cook, basically whatever. Like I said, I started off, just like in trucking. I started off, from the bottom. I start off as a dishwasher,
Okay.
work my way up, to being a prep cook, all the way, to being, a line cook, to being a kitchen supervisor. So,
Okay.
you
So
know,
do you make Christmas or Thanksgiving dinner?
I do.
Oh,
I do.
awesome.
I didn't
Good.
make it. I didn't make it this year because we were down in New Orleans for the Falcons and Saints. You know, even though they lost, we were down there supporting them. So
Okay, okay,
yeah.
awesome. So do you have any other hobbies or skills that you do that's
Um.
not trucking related?
Well, I mean, I'm an outdoorsman. You know, being from Michigan, you know, I love the outdoors. I love to fish. I love to ice fish. Um, I love to skate, play football. I mean, I'm just all around outdoors. I love to do
Sporty. Did you
sporty.
play sports in high school?
Yes, I did. I played football and I played basketball.
Okay, okay. Um, so when you aren't driving, what is it that you normally do?
But when I'm not driving, normally after being out on the road, you know, for anywhere from 5 to 7 days, all the way up to 2 weeks or whatever, you know, I prefer to just stay at home, you know, do family stuff, you know, occasionally go out, you know, me and my wife or whatever. But for the most part, you know, I don't do anything outside of, family, because I'm gone so much during the week.
Okay. So what are the pros and cons of being a company driver?
Pros and cons to being a company driver is basically, to me, if you're coming in this business, you don't have any experience at all, meaning that you don't even have your CDL, your learner's permit. Then that means that you're going to either A, have to first find someone that's willing to give you the money to go to truck driving school, or you're going to have to get with one of the bigger companies, uh, to get them to finance you. And, it could be rewarding. I mean, it can be bad too, because if you're one of those type of people, man or woman, that find one of these companies that you feel that, okay, I should be doing better than what I'm doing, and it's time for me to leave, then all that money that they spent, financing you, you have to pay that back. Some people don't, read
Fine print.
the fine print, when they sign with one of these big companies. I won't say no names, but they don't read the fine print, and that could be, a bad thing, because it ultimately, it goes on your report, your CSA and your PSP report, and it can really damage you. And then they can also take, your tax return, and
Okay.
all that, So you have to be be aware of what you're getting yourself into as a company driver. There are a lot of good companies out there, that you would be happy to be with. But if you're someone that doesn't have any experience in this business, it can be rough. My advice to you would just be to find a company, just use your best judgment on you know what you think that company has that you may be interested in. If it's something that they advertise that you're interested in, go with that company, put your time in, whether it's 6 months to a year, get the experience, and then you can move on. But for me, I came in this business. Actually, I used to work for the city of Flint, where I used to live, and worked in the street maintenance department. And I went there. I didn't have a CDL. That's when I had a chauffeur's license, and I actually got my start on there. I didn't have to go to one of these big companies and whatnot. But then I also went to truck driving school, and I paid for my own truck driving school. I didn't want to have nothing hanging over me if I wanted to leave, because I knew what I wanted. I knew that I wanted to own my own truck driving business. So um, I used to work for a big company, and I remember at orientation, everybody signing paperwork, and you come to the point where you come to the sign-on bonus.
Hmm.
And I told them, I said, I don't want the sign-on bonus. I believe the sign-on bonus for me at that time was like 5,000 or something like that. And I told them that, I wanted to opt out of. So they never heard that before. And so everybody was looking at me like, you don't want the sign-on bonus? I said, no, I don't want, anything holding over my head,
If you ever want to
if
leave,
I
then
ever want
they
to leave.
right.
Because these companies advertise these bonuses, as for company drivers coming in, they advertise them, but then when you get there, you thinking, you know, without no experience, you thinking that I'm gonna get this $5,000 up front. You're not getting that
It's over
up
a
front.
period of time,
It's
right?
it's spread out over a period of time, and it's like months, that it's spread out. So it's not like you getting this
Up front.
up front. So with me knowing that, and with the other guys that were sitting in there in orientation with me knowing that, they still, those guys in there at the time, back when I went to truck driving school, those guys in there, they were getting $10,000 sign-on bonus. I think mine was $5,000, and I just opted out, and I didn't want anything holding over my head, when I got ready to leave and whatnot. So, those are to me the cons of being a company driver because these big companies have more of an overhead. You know, they'll be willing to hire anybody off the street with no experience, and get them in there, and they have to be gone probably like 3-4 weeks at a time just to see probably about $600-700. I mean, it's crazy, but a lot of truck drivers have been in the game. They'll be able to attest to what I just said. That you just have to do your research before you decide you want to be a company driver. You want to be a company driver, I say start off like with 7 Up, one of these beer companies, something like that. Get your experience that way. And then if you want to go out over the road, then you can do that. But as far as now I have my own authority. I don't have anyone, to tell me, you know, where to go, how to make this money, so it's all on me, to get out there to make the money, so I mean it's much harder when you have your own authority, versus being a company driver. But I would say that, if you're a person that you feel that you may not be able to get one of these good Wall Street jobs, or one of these state jobs, or Fed jobs, I would say if you're thinking about truck driving, go ahead and do truck driving, get into the business because it can be very lucrative, if you put your time in and be dedicated. Don't just come in this business thinking that you're going to make a whole bunch of money, because it's not like that.
Now, could you recommend like a school? Let's say somebody's out there, they're looking to get their CDL. What school would you recommend for training?
Well, in Atlanta, that I know of 2 schools that are pretty good, reputable schools. They are funded by the state. Um, I think it's called. I think one is called. I may be wrong. I think one is called Georgia Technical Institute or something like that.
Okay.
Um, I know it's a campus in Lithonia, Georgia.
Okay.
I think it's called Georgia Technical Institute, but another truck driving school, a good one that I know of, is called Atlanta Truck Driving School, and that is in East Point. It sits right next to the Kroger Distribution Center in East Point. So if you know where that is, then that's a good school.
And you can get a federal grant to pay for that, or
You can get, but there's guidelines for that, I believe. I never, like I said, I never wanted to get any type of funding, that type of way, but there is federal funding for it. But you have to meet certain income bracket or something like that.
okay. And then you're also a father, right? So could you
Yes,
tell us how it is being a father and being a trucker?
yes. Actually, like I said, I was a father, at a young age. Actually, about 18, 19, I had my first child's daughter. Um, I have 4 children now, but first starting off, I had the opportunity to actually go over the road, and I mean I did, um, but being gone and having a newborn child at home, I mean it was very frustrating. It was sad. It was depressing because especially if you're one of those type of fathers that really didn't have a father in your life, and you wanted
You want to be there for your kids,
you want
like
to be there for your kid.
right.
You wanted to be hands on. So I would say that you definitely, if you get into this business and you have a family, you definitely have to have, if you're still with your wife or your girlfriend, you definitely got to make sure that
You put in that time for
yeah,
family
yes,
because
yes.
yeah. So, could you elaborate a little bit on relationships or being married and being a trucker around the holidays? If you aren't home, is it hard around the holidays or birthdays or?
Yes, actually, I've experienced firsthand being out over the road as a company driver. Uh, you know, with a big company. I won't say their name, but um, they promise you that we get all of our drivers home for the
Mhm.
holidays, um, you know, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and whatnot. And I was out on both of those, and they basically said, "Oh, we're sorry. We didn't know." And then on Christmas, when Christmas rolled around, um, I was actually with the same company, and I was out on the road at Christmas, and that was the last time. And honestly, I mean, it's funny we doing this interview, but that was the last time that I was a company driver.
Oh,
I
awesome.
I just said, I'm done with it.
Mhm.
I told them that, that was it. I gave them all their, equipment, everything that they gave me, I gave back to them, and that was the last time that, I was a company driver.
Oh, wow. So, tell us a little bit about the pros and cons of um, having your own authority. What would you say the pros and cons are?
Um, the pros to having your own authority is, I mean, you know, you decide, how you want to make money. You don't have anybody looking over your shoulder, telling you have to
You're the
go here.
boss.
You're the boss. The cons is that being a new carrier with your own authority or whatever, owner operator, whatever they want to call it, you definitely have to have certain things in place. You got to have somebody that's has your back, that's helping you out, office wise and stuff like that. Because I mean, I didn't have that. Um, I mean, I don't have that. I basically have to do a lot of things on my own. I have to do a lot more research. I mean, of course, I did a lot of research before I got into this business, but um, reality sets in when you realize that if there's a problem, uh, with the load or something, especially if you're getting into this business and you plan on having uh, company drivers or contractors, up under you, they're going to come after you, and it's nobody else.
It could be a headache too.
It could be a headache,
Mhm.
but like I said, if you put your time in, you do what you have to do. Be true to the this passion of being a truck driver and owning your own business. It could work out for you.
Would you say having your own authority is more lucrative than being a company driver
Um,
due to the expenses that you have?
well, I mean that's a good question. I mean the only thing that I say would is better, money is it's very lucrative being uh, an owner operator with your own authority. You could be an owner operator and be contracted on to somebody and still make just as much money, but I definitely believe that uh, entrepreneurship is the way to go in this business because there's a lot of big companies out there that will cheat you if you don't know this business. So
Right.
I feel that if you put your time in, you save your money up, you have a good support system at home, you know if you have decent credit, where you can able to go out and get a loan or something, I would say work towards that. Make have some short term and long term goals. Into owning your own truck because you definitely don't want to work for someone you know too long.
Okay.
Especially if you want to be successful in this business. Now, I mean, if you're the type of person that needs the benefits, the health benefits and stuff like that, then I would say stick to being a company driver. But like I said, there's a lot of companies out there that are good. I mean, 'cause I work for a lot of different companies, and there's a lot of good companies out there.
Okay. Okay. Um, and what else do we have? Okay, own authority versus company driver. Which one would you prefer and why? And I know you talked a little bit about it, but
Um, being Owner operator, I mean, have your own authority versus company driver. To me, I prefer to have my own authority. I mean, I do not want nobody dictating to me, where I gotta go or how I should run, how I should set my schedule, you know,
When you can take off
when you can
or
take off and,
mhm.
putting in, all these forms in, to have a vacation. Your vacation as the owner operator with your own authority is when, you know, you paid all your bills and, you have, I mean, you in the green and you able to take a vacation, you can take a vacation. It's all based on now whether or not you married or not, or you have a girlfriend or not, she can get the time off, or if it's a female driver, if your husband can get the time off if he's working, one of these industry jobs out here or whatever.
Okay. So if you could give one piece of advice to someone who's looking to come into the business, whether they want to be a company driver or, have their own authority or what have you, what would be that one piece of advice you would give them?
The advice I would give to anyone, man or woman, if you're looking to get into this business, um, the most important piece of advice I can give anybody is to do your research on whatever it is that you're looking to get out of being a truck driver. Do the research. I mean, there's all types of different modules out there that you can Google up. Just do your research. Talk to people. I mean, there's people out there that'll give you good sound advice, and there's other people out there that just tell you, well, you just got to take a chance. Well, you do have to take a chance, but you definitely want to do your homework.
Right.
That's the most important. Do your homework.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to say or?
No,
Yeah.
no.
All right. Well, how has your experience been with using Bumble Bee for your trailer rental?
Okay. Yeah. Like I said, I found Bumble Bee on Craigslist, and I actually went on their website. Um, I was doing my research on trying to find the right
Information about us
information out
driving.
about a company that best suited my needs and my company's needs, and I found two, and I found that Bumblebee, had what I was looking for. They had good equipment, equipment that you can go inspect and check out, before you sign any paperwork or whatever. And also, what I found that I loved about Bumblebee was that they not only rent trailers and lease trailers and sell trailers. It's really, if you go on the website, it's a one-stop shop. I think I seen something on there like
We the Walmart and trucking. We are.
right, right. I seen that, and it's true. I mean, you definitely have to do your research, because I mean, you can go rent a trailer from anybody, but you know, everybody not gonna stand by their equipment. They're not going to be there. If you have concerns about certain things, you can go to them and you can talk to them. So, I definitely say that my experience with Bumblebee, I think I've been with them for about 7 months, has been real good. Um, I've actually recommended Bumblebee to a
A
lot
few
of people,
people,
few
yeah.
people now, whether or not they've rented a trailer or not, that's up to them. But I've actually recommended it to a lot of people. So I would say Bumblebee. If you're in the market, trying to get started up on authority, you want to get your broker license, you want to learn how to dispatch, you want to get your first truck, check out Bumblebee.
Well, thank you so much,
You're welcome.
Myron. He actually came at a short notice to do this interview. So, I really appreciate you coming out and doing this. Basically, our YouTube channel, we
Okay.
try to give, people that looking to get in the trucking industry just a better insight on, what it's like so they can kind of see before they actually choose that career path. Is it
Right.
something they really want to do?
Right.
So I appreciate you coming out. Guys, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching.